Hi, I'm back on my bullshit, and this time it's to show you some of the most distilled, awful box arts on video games ever made. Here's my top 10 favourites, filmed from my very, very expensive villa that I totally can afford and have a totally shit.
Street Warrior, released by Phoenix Games in 2007 for the PlayStation 2.
Oh, Bobbins, we have wandered down a back alley and these two lads are not happy about it. Look at those graphics, that design.
An absolutely livid bloke, a livid dog, a burning skip, no parking.
I feel like I'm back in Croydon. Alright, I'm sorry, one of my viewers needs to take the hit. Can you just give those guys your wallet, please? I would give them my wallet, but it's just full of receipts and Royal Mail missed delivery cards.
Ah, Phoenix Games, how your art department gives me life. For those of you not in the know, Phoenix Games were a budget game publisher who threw some complete and utter bobbins onto the PlayStation 2 and the Wii, and also the PlayStation 1 when they still called themselves Midas Entertainment. Phoenix were responsible for the utter horror that is Dingo Pictures cartoons making it onto so-called games. I did review one of them that I'll link in the description. Usually, Phoenix Games used the most awful art for the boxes of their games, and very often they were just as delightfully gash as the actual content.
To be fair, this is probably one of the better renders that they got the intern to come up with. I mean, look at those rippling muscles. Those are muscles on muscles. Like, does this level of muscles exist, or are these two idiots just injecting themselves with synthol on the regular? Either way, I probably would.
These poor guys are so stacked that they can't even find shirts to put on. They must be so cold. I guess that's why they've set fire to a skip in the background there. Adapt and overcome. Those thighs are amazing though, bursting out of those pyjama bottoms. There can't be any space for a penis in there, surely. Why is that the first thing I thought of?
These two guys are fashion goals. I wish I had that level of body confidence. I wish I had the confidence to go around a back alley topless. Usually I need to get quite drunk before I start doing that.
That dog looks like it wandered right out of an SCP story. Am I going to die in my sleep tonight after being visited by that thing? I better call these two lads up so they can protect me. Hey, lads standing in an alleyway topless in front of a burning skip. What are you doing tonight? While I was editing this video, I actually found another version of this box art, and I think you'll agree that it's also quite distilled. That's right, my lad, you put those nipples away. If I can't have mine out, you can't have yours out. That's equality, my lad. It's the future, which is also apparently what's happening here? Space tours? As in tours of space? Is this a snapshot of what happens if Elon Musk becomes president? And you know what, that's not even the most ridiculous sentence I've ever said. If that happens in 10 years, I called it. Wild Woody for the Sega CD, made by Sega, released in 1995.
Whoa, step back guys, it's kicking off in the stationery aisle right now. I normally have to go to Staples for these kind of scenes. Of course, they've got to give him an innuendo of a name as well.
You can see from the notepad and cup and stuff in the background that this pencil is, pencil-sized, which, when you think of it, stops Wild Woody from being even slightly scary. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to mess with a homicidal HB, but that stick of dynamite can't be bigger than an eraser. It's probably not going to cause any more damage than a pop rock. At best, it'll just be annoying.
And no, I am probably never going to play this game, because I mean, look at it. But I guess I'm just kind of confused as to why they chose a main character who can be very easily defeated by a sharpener.
Apparently this game was less than mediocre, which I would not have guessed from the box art. Get back in the pencil case, idiot. You're not blowing up anyone else tonight. Not when I've got my boys on speed dial. Sword Fight for the ZX Spectrum and published by Sunshine in 1983.
Now, I could make an entire dedicated video just about the box art for video games for the early 80s home computers, because they were just amazing. In fact, I probably will make that video because I am desperate for content ideas. But this is the one that I've picked out for this list because I have a deep-seated affection for unintentional homoeroticism. What can I say? I have very refined tastes.
In the time of Shakespeare, playwrights would talk about swords and buckles, meaning the penis and vagina, respectively, which gives a whole other meaning to the word sword fight. And Shakespeare especially was keen on making that association. What can I say? I learned from the greats, but I can't be the only one who finds this cover art hilarious for that reason. Look at this dude. He's clearly having a very, very nice time. He's really enjoying slapping his sword against his friend's sword. They're just good friends who slap each other's swords with their swords.
I'm not the only one who sees this, right? I mean, I know I'm desperate, but come on. Look.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to be a dude, apparently with access to a lot of neon piping for his outfit, who has been slashed up and is reeling in pain. But pain really is close to pleasure. Very, very close, apparently. Anyway, give me a second. I'm just gonna Google fencing classes near me. Slider, made by Sega and for the Game Gear.
I don't know where to start with this box art. I mean, you've got that terrifying spindly thing shouting like a white supremacist at a pride rally. Then you've got creepy long-nosed bloke peeking out from a hole in the floor like he's trying to take upskirt photos. And then finally you have what appears to be the disembodied head of a sex offender running through a field of pyramids. Am I back in rehab?
There is some real talent in making something that is essentially a head on legs look so aggressively like it's about to tell you that your breasts look nice today while you're stood at a bus stop minding your own business. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've met this guy. Cuddly Cubert for various home computer systems. Released in the early 80s. I don't pretend to be an expert in things that are cuddly, but that thing, it doesn't look cuddly. That thing looks like every time someone goes in for a spooning, they'll be jabbed by either that terrifying snout or some of the knobbliest knees ever seen on a video game character. Also, look at how lean and stacked he is. He did not miss leg day. Maybe he should have.
Obviously, this character and the game itself are a rip-off of the arcade classic Cubert, but all I'm asking is, where did the adjective cuddly come from? I understand the alliteration, but run your finger down a dictionary and you'll find a better way to describe this guy. Creepy, crack-addled, crusty, coming straight from my last fever dream. I seem to have a lot of them.
That explains why he's naked, and why his feet look like a fetish modelling website. There is a different version of art for this game that is more easily found on the internet, and while it is still kind of fever dreamish, it's not as charming as Cuddly Cubert's spindly knees right here. I obviously have a very weird definition of charming, but so do you guys if you're still watching my videos. Alf in the Colour Caves by Spinnaker Software.
Hey, it's a shapeless blue blob, and you know how much I love shapeless blue blobs. I just need to check if I'm going to get sued for using this one.
These kids pointing in fear and dread, though. Yeah, I feel you guys. I'd be terrified if I saw that thing lumbering along too. Oh, you should look worried, small boy, who is stuck in a hole for some reason. I told you not to play in the building site, Bobby. Now look what's happened. You've broken your legs and there's a thing. No, I'm not helping you or you'll never learn.
Don't worry though, it looks like Alf has had enough of everything and is about to top himself by throwing himself into this hole. Don't be sad for him, it's what he wants. Look at how happy he is. In fact, is there room for me down there? Alf, is there room for me down in this hole? Because I'm coming down there, love. Make a space.
Sometimes I fantasize about being an angry pair of eyes peering out from a hole in the ground. That would honestly be my dream job. Pipe Mania 3D for the PlayStation. What is it with making totally inanimate objects into humanoid figures? Alright, it's just creepy, I hate it. Where is this guy's internal organs? Does he have a nervous system? Surely he's made of metal and therefore can't feel, and yet he has the modesty to wear shoes and gloves. Does he exist in pain and torment? Where did he get a wrench from? The questions are coming hard and fast, and I just can't answer a single one.
This box art really grosses me out, and I can't put my finger exactly on why, but I think it might be something to do with the fact that some lunatic decided, oh, I know what we'll do, we will write the title in snot. I cannot handle mucus. I can barely even look at this box art.
Imagine if you called for a plumber and this prick showed up. And he's holding a wrench, but that doesn't have eyes or little stampy feet. But pipes do? Where do you draw the line? I am now frightened to open the cupboard under my sink just in case the U-bend comes at me with a friggin' screwdriver. Dracula for the Intellivision, released in 1983 by iMagic.
Ladies, gentlemen, and others, welcome to the best depiction of Dracula ever.
From this guy's ridiculously pointy widow's peak, the absolutely clown shoes face paint that's all patchy and barely holding on, to the expression that suggests my dude just saw his kid throw a Wii controller into the new widescreen TV, this Dracula is equal parts relatable and terrifying. Add in the leggy lad in the background apparently sneaking out of the front room of a suburban house with a bat in tow, and what you have here is the makings of the best horror game cover of all time.
Hollywood, take note. You will never, ever top this Dracula. So please, for the love of Christ, stop trying.
Shakusin Melody Daemon for the PlayStation 1 by Ving.
Look at that. Look at that box art and try and tell me it is not literally the best piece of artwork you have ever seen. Try and tell me that. Look me in the eye and tell me that. Oh, you lying. Excuse me, you guys, that is a very confused looking, very fluffy cat holding a mobile phone. This is peak art.
This isn't really a game. It's to make ringtones for your mobile phone, and the cat on the cover is notably absent from the software, except for the title screens, which is a massive, crushing disappointment. But it's still one of my most favourite box arts I've ever seen on anything ever, because even though the actual software is a massive letdown, I will remember the initial feverish excitement of seeing that this thing exists until my dying day. Thank you, Phone Cat. Crabby Adventure, Phoenix Games, released in 2007 for the PlayStation 2.
I cannot get enough of this box art. It fills me with so much delight and makes me laugh even harder every time I see it. Look at it! It's a crab and he's going on an adventure! And his name is Crabby because he's a crab. And he's going on an adventure, which is a Crabby Adventure because he's a crab called Crabby and therefore the adventure is a Crabby! What the shit is this? What is my life?
He's so crabby he can hardly manage. He's so crabby that his name is Crabby. Complete and utter crab. When I was making this video, I noticed for the first time, Crabby here isn't the only crab in this epic scene of wonder and thrills. There's a crab here, and down here, and this one that looks like it's ready to fuck some shit up. Is this a cloud of dust hiding that crab because our main guy here is moving so fast? Every time I look at this, I find something new. It's beautiful. What I really like is that the sunken pirate ship with the crab running away from it makes it look like General Crabstick here was responsible for the sinking. What a bad bitch. I love you, Crabby.
Actual physical copies of this game are kind of hard to come by because, one, they didn't have a great release on account of the fact that nobody wanted to buy it and also the fact that the game itself, like all of Phoenix Games' stuff, was just a bit crap. Obviously, I adore this cover art. If I'd have seen this on the shelves back when it was released, I would have made a friggin' beeline for it, I'm telling you right now. But I appreciate that I'm not most people, and I may have some issues.
The game itself is some unremarkable marble shooting game, like the much more popular and famous Zuma, but this version has cute crabs. It's probably not an awful game as far as puzzle games go, but something like that absolutely does not deliver what this box art promises. And as a result, I am pissed off. I want a badass Metal Gear Solid style pirate adventure with a crab. Give me the real Crabby's Adventure. I would play the shit out of a game like that. I want to be a crab and I want to mess things up with my giant claw hand. There does exist a box art for Crabby Adventure which is more in keeping with the aesthetic of the actual game itself. It was actually quite common for Phoenix to have different versions of box arts across different regions. Like we saw back with the Street Fighter guys. No nipples outside of Europe. No. But looking at this particular version of the box art, I'm willing to bet that basically Phoenix went to their art department and said, oh, okay, so there is this game and there's some crabs and they're basically just sort of crabbing around. And that was literally the entire brief.
Hey, actual true story, the only thing that I have a proper phobia of is crabs. Because when I was about 4, my mum had an entire crab on a plate in the fridge that she was just kind of picking through. And one day, because I was a child and therefore more of an idiot than I am now, I put my finger against one of its eyes, and when I pulled my finger away, the eye popped off, and I was stood in the kitchen crying and screaming, unable to move, because there was a crab's eye stuck onto my finger. What can I say? I love stuff that triggers my PTSD. You know, it keeps things interesting, and I do lead a very boring life otherwise.
Well, that is my top 10 favourite worst box arts. I think you'll agree there was some absolutely distilled masterpieces in there.
If I was your normal irritating YouTuber, I would ask you to smash that subscribe button right now. Please do not smash the subscribe button and hurt your computer. I'd rather just...
Alright, see you beautiful bastards later. I've got a new job that I'm very good at.
Don't come near me, I hate you. I hate everyone. Fuck off!